PC fam, welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. We are, what are we, Chill? Two and a half weeks into the season now. We've got about anywhere from 7 to 8 games in. This season in particular, is shaping up to be a good one. We've got a lot of high scoring. We've had some upsets. We've had some shockers, some surprises. Speaking of upsets, shockers, and surprises, the Portland Trailblazers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champs, as you know, for the first time in 4 years last night. I believe they were on a 16-game losing streak against the Oklahoma City Thunder, Chill.
Not just in Portland either. Both Portland and Oklahoma City. We haven't beaten them anywhere in 4 years. Nowhere. They beat us. They own us in 4 years. We can't beat them nowhere, including, I believe it wasn't last year, Ox, but it might have been last year. They beat us by 60 in Oklahoma City. Stomped us by 60 in Oklahoma City. Yes, sir. That happened. 100%.
I don't even remember that game, honestly. That's crazy. 60 points. That's terrible. Well, shout out to the Portland Trailblazers. Shout out to Tiago Splitter. Shout out to the city of Portland. And shout out to Drew Holiday. We'll definitely, get back to that game a little bit as it goes by. But I want to just get straight to how the season is shaping up so far. We have let's talk about the East first.
Yeah.
This playoff it's the teams that are in the playoff picture right now, so 1 through 6. We have the Chicago Bulls at 1, the Detroit Pistons at 2, the Knicks at 3. Shit, what is this? Like, what are we in 1994 or something?
That's what it looked like, right?
What year is it?
That's what it looked like, right?
we got the Bulls, the Pistons, and the Knicks. Then we got the Cavaliers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Philadelphia 76ers. That's the top 6 so far in the East. Chill. Anything shocking about that?
Oh, we could start right at the top, Ox. The Bulls as the number 1 seed. If it ended today, the Bulls are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I mean, what they've done has been nothing short of fantastic. I mean, Josh Giddey is playing like an all-pro. I didn't think he would be this good. He was I had him as most improved this season, and that was largely due to the way that this team was set up. I didn't have this team making the playoffs. I thought that they would be in the play-in space, but I didn't have them making the playoffs because I thought the youth movement was what this was about. I didn't think that Pat Williams would be as good as he's been, but he's been playing really good. He's been really effective. I've always loved that rotation player that they have in Smith. I've always loved him. I loved him when he was in Indiana, one of the ultimate dirty work guys. They still haven't gotten Kobe White back yet neither, right? So when they get Kobe White back, that's another bucket getter that they're going to have. That's going to really that's really going to bolster their squad in terms of offensively. But Matas Bacelis has been really good for this crew. Once they get the Euro Noah ready, and I think he's still maybe a year or 2 away, but once they get him ready, I think he's going to be even better for their rotation. But I just feel like they play a brand of basketball that's winning basketball. And I got to give Billy Donovan a lot more credit than I give him for, one, the coaching style that he has. They play fast, in addition to them playing fast, because they played fast last year, but I think that they got a guy in Josh Giddey who gives them the confidence that they need in order to be in space that they need to be in successfully. What I mean when I say that is, if I'm running with Josh Giddey, I know Josh Giddey's going to get me the basketball where I'm the most effective, right? He does that with Matas Bacelis. Josh Giddey is going to get downhill. He's going to collapse the defense. He's going to get to the rim and score it. I think this is one of his best scoring seasons, if not his best scoring season, both with the weak and strong hand. Even with that being said, guys like Matas, guys like this kid DeSamo, who I love DeSamo. Swiper was the one who turned me on to him. Josh Giddey is the engine to all of this, and he's the guy that makes this whole thing go. So is this sustainable? I'm not going to say it's not, off the strength that they play a brand of basketball that's winning basketball, because Vooch, for all intents and purposes, I thought was over, but Vooch looks really good in this offense. I told you this before, that Vooch reminds me of the old guy who really ain't supposed to be hanging around us, but we don't want him to leave. Like,
right.
That's what Vooch reminds me of. And I think that with him giving them the stretch four that they didn't have, in addition to the stretch four, the glass cleaner that Vooch is, I mean, this Bulls team definitely blew my mind. Orlando being where they are right now kind of threw me off the track because I thought Orlando would be a lot better than what they are right now. That offense still is looking whack.
Well, we have so far. So that's the first six that we just went through: Chicago, Detroit, New York, Cleveland, Milwaukee, and the 76ers.
Yep.
The four teams that are 7 through 10, which will put them in the play-in, is Atlanta, Toronto, Miami, and Boston.
And the reason why I brought up Orlando, Ox, was because if I'm looking at the standings right now, you told me the Bulls, you told me Detroit, you told me the Knicks, you told me Cleveland, and you told me Milwaukee. Well, at that 2 spot, I had the Knicks. At that 3 spot, I had Orlando. And Orlando has definitely been disappointing. At that 4 spot, I had Cleveland. At the 4 spot, we got Cleveland. At the 4 spot, I had Atlanta. I'm sorry. I had Cleveland at the top of the East. I ain't have Cleveland around 4 at the top of the East. And that the Bulls have been doing what they've been doing. Milwaukee, I had them at Detroit at 5. So this has definitely been surprising so far. And again, to your point, we're about 2 weeks into the season. So with us being almost 2 weeks into the season, a little over 2 weeks into the season, I'm sure that there's things that are going to change. With that being said, it's fun to watch, to your point, what looks like to be like 1992, with the Bulls at the top of the East, with Detroit right next to them, and the Knicks on their way, Cleveland still awesome, Milwaukee. So that's what this looks like right now.
Well, and the reason why, it's cool just to talk about where these teams are lined up right now, but I mean, the Magic are 1 game behind Atlanta.
Right.
Like it's still so close that next week this whole thing can look completely different.
Different.
I'm talking about 3 games right now changes everything. So like let's say if the Bulls lose 3 in a row, they go 6-4.
Yep.
If they lose 3 in a row, they go 6-4, and if Orlando wins 3 in a row, they're 6-5. So,
which means they're right back in the middle of it.
And that's the 1 seed and the 11 seed right now.
That's the separation that we having. That's the separation that's incredible, Ox.
Right.
Wow.
So while it's obviously good to talk about and see where everybody's lined up, it's still so early that the standings are just a formality at this point. So we'll run it back through one more time before we head to the West. In order, in the East, we have Chicago, Detroit, New York, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Toronto, Miami, Boston, Orlando, Charlotte, Brooklyn, Indiana, and Washington. So Brooklyn, Indiana, Washington, they all have won 1 game. They're all 1-7.
Indiana, I'm really not surprised about. I had Indiana being this bad, to be honest with you. And I don't think that there's a team that I've seen since I've been watching basketball to lose your starting point guard and your big and one of your best rotation bigs in Bryant, and then you expect this team to still be viable. I just thought it was ridiculous. They played a style of ball that they needed Tyrese Halliburton. They need Miles Turner in order to continue to play that. This isn't a next man up situation in Indiana because we don't have anybody to supplement that. No, we don't. And I think that we're in a space right now where that's showing. I thought that Washington would be better than this, though, Ox. I didn't think that they would be, Miami Heat good or, in that space. I didn't think that they would be that good, but I definitely thought that they would be better than bottom of the East good. I did.
Yeah. I'm sure when it's all said and done, they'll probably be like a 12, 13, something like that. But still, I mean, it's still pretty bad.
Yes, sir.
In the West, things are even, just as close in the West. They're just as close over here. I mean, it's no surprise that the Oklahoma City Thunder are number 1 at 8-1. The Lakers, Bron hasn't played yet. They're 7-2. The Rockets 5-2. Denver 5-2.
Mhm.
San Antonio 5-2. Then you have the Trailblazers at 5-3.
Yep.
And that's that top 6 right here that we have in the West.
Mhm.
Oklahoma City, Los Angeles, Lakers, um, Houston Rockets, Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs, Portland Trailblazers.
Yep.
All been playing very well. That's the top 6 there. Do you have any? Are you shocked that any of these 6 teams are in there?
Absolutely. Both San Antonio and the Trailblazers. I didn't think that they would be that good this early. I thought that they were a team that were going to play their way into being good. I think Wemby is. I mean, we're seeing the ebbs and flows of a young player who we've seen the best of him, and I don't think we're seeing the worst of him. But I also think that we're seeing a guy who is trying to figure out what's the in between when it comes to Wemby. Because on the one hand, we saw a guy who was showing us basically the maximum of what is humanly possible on a basketball court from a guy his size. But then we see, 19 and 6, and it's like, well, wait a minute, is this guy really as good as we think he is? Well, there's a middle ground with him. He's still the best rim protector in the game. I don't think that anybody would argue that. I think that their rookie play with Harper going out, I think that kind of threw a monkey wrench in what they were trying to do, but they were rolling when he was in the lineup. The Trailblazers, on the other hand, I had the Trailblazers around this space, like between I didn't have them at 6, but I had them in the play-in, and I had them playing their way into the playoffs, like around 8, 9, but winning a play-in game, winning 2 play-in games, and playing their way into the playoffs. I didn't think that they would be this good this early, though, especially considering that Scoot was out of the lineup. I thought they were really going to need Scoot at the lead guard spot, but Drew Holiday has been, because he was older, I thought that it was going to be a problem, but Drew Holiday has been great for them, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from this Trailblazer group. The Denver Nuggets, I thought they would be a little bit higher. I had them at the 2 spot before the season started. I had the Lakers where San Antonio is. I didn't think that they would be this good, off the strength, Ox, of the Western Conference being as good as it's been. So your logic of, Luka being the league MVP, I can promise you, Ox, if they keep this up and they end up with a 1, 2, or 3 seed, I mean, Luka will have some real consideration, if not win the league MVP, if they keep this up.
Not only that, Chill, but if they keep this up, we might see 4 Lakers in LA this year in February.
4 of them.
That's what
How
I've been
about that?
saying. Luka, Bron, AD, DeAndre Ayton. Y'all watch
4
out for it.
All-Stars.
Watch out for it.
Hey, I don't know if I hated Ox, to be honest with you. I don't know if I hated. I thought the addition of DeAndre Ayton was a good thing. There were people who scoffed at me when I said that, but I mean, it looks right now like it's working, and I don't see why it can't continue to work, especially when they get Braun back in the lineup. I just thought, to your point, Ox, when you talked about Luka being the league MVP, I didn't think that they would be good enough in terms of the standings for him to be league MVP. But if they end up hovering around that 2, 3 seed, I think we're going to have a different conversation. Yes, I do.
Well, so this is another situation just like in the East, because once again, we're only 9 games in, right? So this next 4 is Golden State at 5-4, Minnesota at 4-4, the Clippers at 3-4, and the Suns at 3-5. The Kings and Jazz are also 3-5, and the Grizzlies are 3-6. But let me stick with these 4. So this is another situation, Chill, where 1 week can change everything. So like I said, Golden State, Minnesota, Clippers, and Suns are in that play-in tier right now.
Yep.
Let's go with we can go with the Lakers. The Lakers are 7-2. 7-2.
Yep.
If they were to go 0-3, that would take them to 7-5. Where if the Timberwolves went 3-0, they'd be 7-4. And the Timberwolves are in that playing spot at 8 right now, as you know. So it's still so early, guys, and we're not here saying that this is gonna be the standings. We're very well aware that it's only the beginning. We're barely 10% 10% through the season right now, so we know that. But we're still gonna report where these teams are right now. So with that play-in, like I said, we got Golden State, Minnesota, the Clippers, and the Suns. Chill, do you see these 4 teams sticking in this area for the foreseeable future for maybe a little time, or is this going to change quick?
To your point, Ox, I mean, 3 and 8 are separated by a game and a half.
Yeah.
That means very much like we talked about last season. You could go from hosting a playoff series if it ended today, or you could go from hosting a playoff series to in a week you fighting for your playoff life, right? So I thought that this Golden State Warrior team at 7, to be honest with you, I thought that was a little high off the strength that I just physically not sure if they're going to hold up. We already see what's happening. We got guys sitting out of games, and we still haven't had the Steph Curry. We haven't had the Steph Curry slump that usually happens around January to late January to early February, where he goes into that slump. With that being said, the Clippers, I was actually surprised. I had them higher. I don't think that they're going to stay there. I think that they could move up, but maybe they are better. Maybe the Trailblazers are better than them. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say that with 100% certainty, but they haven't maximized, I think, their low post scoring as much as they should. I mean, I watched them play against the Trailblazers a couple of nights ago, and I thought that they did. I thought that they ended up doing a good job in maximizing Zubac around the rim with that small ball lineup that Coach Splitter had on the floor with Thibault and Kamara and Jeremy Grant. I thought that it was just, in your words, free eats at the rim. And I don't think that they've done that against other teams. I mean, Brook Lopez has now been relegated to just being a long ball shooting big. He doesn't rebound. He doesn't really protect the rim as much as he used to. So, but I do expect them to be better than what they are right now. And the Oklahoma City Thunder basically ran them over like a truck a couple of nights ago. But I do expect them to be better. I didn't think Memphis would be this bad. I'll be lying to you, Ox, if I thought Memphis is. I thought that they would be as bad as they are. I did not think that they would be that bad. But no.
I don't expect anything from Memphis, Chill. This is where I expect Memphis to be. But I will say this, though. Because we could take it a step further as far as how early it is in the season. Mm-hmm. Memphis is 3-6, and they're sitting at the 13th seed in the East right now.
Yep.
The Rockets are 5-2, and they're at the 3 seed in the West right now.
Yep.
So, like I've been saying, that takes 3 games. 3 games, and that's that fast. So
just like that.
I don't want y'all to get married to these standings just yet, okay?
Yeah.
Wrapping up in the West, we have the Kings in the 11, Jazz in the 12, Memphis at 13, Pelicans at 14, and Dallas at 15. Chill, a team that me and you both were saying could potentially win the West are sitting at the 15th seed right now.
I can't say that I was more wrong about a team right now than I was about the Dallas Mavericks. Mm-hmm. That offense has been nothing short of awful. Their fourth quarter offense is awful. They don't have any continuity. I thought with Cooper Flagg at the lead guard spot, because he had, as a wing, being able to handle the ball, being able to get downhill, being able to pass, he showed me some point guard skills. So I thought that it was a good idea to experiment with him at the lead guard spot, and not necessarily experiment. Experiment isn't the word that I'm using. I thought that it'd be a good idea, him being a big wing, that we may be able to put him at the lead guard spot, because this isn't the traditional NBA with Stockton and Isaiah. Like, we could put him at that spot and turn him into, a really good point guard. Only except it just hasn't worked like that. Their offense has stalled. I think they're at the bottom of the league in offense. They don't have a lot of pace. Coop tries to give them pace, but they don't. And the fact that Derek Lively is out of the lineup, that really hurts them in terms of their rebounding, in addition to Anthony Davis. Gafford's actually been good for them, and so is Najee Marshall. He's been really good for them, but D'Angelo Russell has not. I think that Klay Thompson has really, with his shooting slump, thrown a monkey wrench in what they're trying to do offensively. So this has to turn around, Ox, because it can't get any worse. We're at the bottom of the league. Mm-hmm. So it can't get any worse. So we have to turn this thing around.
Yeah, chill. I don't expect them to stay where they are. Derek Lively's been hurt. Anthony Davis has been hurt. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Kyrie. So those might be 3 of their most important players. So
yep.
Cooper Flagg. And once again, I know how people are so right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can't really let things develop. I've as a younger man, I was the same way. When I was a kid, I was just like, oh man, it's not happening. But as I get older, I'm becoming more patient. And so I think that right now is a time for patience, and I think that hopefully Cooper Flagg as a young man isn't becoming impatient. I hope the vets around him and Jason Kidd can help him to continue to be patient and let things happen.
Sure.
Putting the ball in his hand obviously isn't a winning formula right now, but I think that can help them come March, April, May, hopefully June and July. Hopefully June and July for them can help them when they get into times when Kyrie Irving's out there and he needs help alleviating pressure, getting the ball up the court, facilitating with D'Angelo Russell and them. So while it looks ugly right now, and I expected it to look ugly as far as him playing point guard, I don't think that this is necessarily a bad move in just developing how does he act under pressure. You know what I'm saying? How does he facilitate the offense? So it's not working right now, but I think Jason Kidd is on to something. And and chill. Like, Kyrie Irving changes everything.
I don't understand why that's like nuts to say that. Like, to get Irv back on the court, I mean, he throws a different dynamic into your offense that you just didn't have. Number one, he throws a bucket getter in. A bucket getter that you did not have. As good as you are, or as bad as you are at scoring, he relieves some of that. Like, he might not be the complete answer, but he relieves some of that. Then you add Anthony Davis back into that lineup. So you got another bucket getter who also is a glass cleaner. When you can speed the game up and you can play fast with Anthony Davis being a stop and pop big, being a lob threat, these guys add different dynamics to your offense that you don't have right now. So there's a reason why you're at the bottom of the league. So to your point, I get a better scorer when I get Kyrie Irving back in the lineup. I also get another ball handler with Kyrie Irving back in the lineup, which is huge for us because we don't have that right now. As good as D'Angelo Russell is and the knockdown shooter that he can be from time to time, he has not been that. And I think Kyrie Irving alleviates a lot of that pressure on him. So, like, to get Kyrie Irving back, I think that's definitely going to help them dudes. Definitely.
Sure, and I'll go a step further with this team. Klay Thompson would barely be playing right now. I'm talking about Klay. You're getting 10 minutes a game just to get a sweat. You're going to just get a sweat, Klay. I'm letting you know right now, you're only playing 10 to 15 minutes. Go out there and shoot as many open shots as you can, because I'm gonna get Max Christie in there. I'm gonna get Caleb Martin in there. I'm gonna get Najee Marshall. I'm gonna let those three play as much as possible, helping Cooper Flagg. To me, it's Klay's at the age where we're load managing. We're just letting him keep his wrist loose. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead. Let's get these other guys in there. Klay, you'll play a lot more come March, April, and May. Like I said, it's wait till Kyrie comes around. We'll make things easier for you. I think right now should just be developing the rotation guys, and just letting PJ Washington just rock. Let PJ and Coop rock right now. I'm still really high on this team, Chill. I am.
I'm not. I haven't given up hope on this crew, Ox, and the reason why I haven't given up hope on them is, to your point, because they have the talent to be really good, right? And once this thing comes together, if it does come together the way I think it's going to come together, I think this team can really make some noise in the Western Conference. And yeah, you guys got on me about the Luka trade and the vision that I saw, but I'd like to see what this crew looks like when everybody's healthy. That's what I would like to see. And if I could see that, then I could have a different idea about what this crew is looking like right now. Completely
100%.
different.
100%. Let's see. We got some guys in the lobby. Let's get my man Marcus from 626 up here and see what he has to say about what's his team squad? The Timberwolves.
He down with the Timberwolves. Yeah, those are his boys.
Yeah. What's up, Marcus?
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
I'm with you with the Grizzlies. I don't think they're going to be. I think they'll be in the play-in. I do think they'll get better though, because we do have to remember they are missing Ty Jerome. Who will, when he comes back, he will be their best backup lead guard, and they are missing Zach Edey. I don't know when he's coming back. I don't know his timetable, but Zach Edey, he is their.
That's huge, Joe.
He's their best screener. He's their best rebounder, because Jaren Jackson.
Their best rim protector too. He had better rim protector than you're better rim protector too.
Yeah, because Jaren Jackson sucks the rebounder too. I think when those two come back, and he's he's a better screener for Josh. So, when Ja comes off of those screens, maybe he can get into the lane, draw more pressure to the rim, better than what he's doing right now.
Marcus, do you think that with basically the exodus of the pick and roll in that offense, do you think that hampers Ja?
Like in terms of like just getting his.
Well, that's what I mean, because if you look at Ja is what Ja before all of this offense thing transpired, one of the better one-on-one players in the game, could definitely play and pick and roll. And it's almost like it's gone in Memphis. They don't run pick and roll anymore. That one-on-one offense. Do you think that that's hampered Ja at all?
Yeah, I feel like he probably doesn't feel that involved because I remember last year it was this thing that came out where they was running this new offense that they actually had like a better net rating, like they were just playing better because with Ja and all these suspensions and stuff, they had to make a new offense to where where Ja wasn't there because he wasn't there. So and they found success in doing that, but in finding that success in doing that, it's like they're kind of losing the specialty of what makes Ja. You know what I'm saying? Which he is like a major pick and roll player. But, they found success in the small success in what they tried to experiment with. And, Ja's just, he's the one that's hurting the most from that. But again, I do feel like when Zach Edey comes back, I feel like Zach Edey, he is the partner for Ja Morant because of his screen, because of how big of a body he is. He is a lob threat too. I like me personally, I wait till about like 25 to 30 games to really like just analyze every single team and player because I feel like that's a good enough sample size. Right now, like we're in game like 8 or 9, right? Something like that. Like, yeah, so let's give it to like 25, 30 games. Let's wait till all these dudes come back from like every team, from the Grizzlies, from the Mavericks, every bad team, even the good teams in Chicago. Let's see
Marcus, what's wrong with what's going on with your crew defensively? Garbage.
Dude,
what's happening right now? What's going on with your crew?
All right, so look, I got a stat for you. When Rudy Gobert is on the floor, right?
Yep.
We're basically the 5th ranked best defense, right?
So top 5 defense when Rudy on the floor.
Right, but when Rudy's off the floor, so when we go to like Naz Reid and Julius Randle at the 4 and 5, guess where we rank that, Chill?
Garbage, trash.
No, worse than garbage. Worse than that. Worse. We're way worse than garbage. We're way
How can you be worse than garbage? So you're not even the garbage that's in the garbage can. You the liquid at the bottom. You're the liquid at the bottom of the garbage.
We're the sewer. We're the sewer.
Oh my God.
We're the sewer. We're the sewer, Chill. We're the sewer. Yeah, it's damn embarrassing. But
top 5 defense with Rudy on the floor.
And
Rudy
the
off
worst
the floor,
ever
we the
without
liquid at the bottom of the garbage. Stop telling me that Rudy can't defend. It don't make a difference. I'm tired of hearing that.
Like, I will say somewhat of a remedy that Chris Finch has to at least try. I don't even know if it's even going to work, but he has to try it. He has to just try to put in Yohan Berenger. He has to. He has to just try. Like, y'all know he's new. Like, he ain't even turned 19 yet.
He just turned 19. Just turned 19 today.
Oh, that's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still a kid. Like, he just started playing basketball like 3-4 years ago. He has great feet though, but it can't get no worse than this.
It could get worse. It could 100% get worse. You guys are bad right now. It could get worse. Y'all basically in the play-in.
4 and 4 right now. 4 and 4. So it could get worse.
It could 100% get worse.
But we got a very favorable schedule coming up before we play OKC on the 26th. We got
No, I'm here. I'm still listening to you. Keep going.
Yeah, we got a very favorable schedule to where we can run off like some games. We got the Jazz, we got the Kings 4 times in this month or 3 times. We got the Jazz again. And then I think the hardest team before we play the Thunder is the Nuggets, but I feel like we're going to beat the Nuggets when Ant come back. I mean, when Ant being back, he's going to get reacclimated.
He looked rusty yesterday. Yeah, he looked rusty. He didn't look bad. He just looked rusty. That's all.
Yeah, he always looks rusty when he comes back from an injury. But, what I love about Ant is that he wants to play, whether he's rusty or not. He wants to get back into that game shape, and he is going to get back into that game shape because that's just how he is. Yeah.
All right, Marcus.
Absolutely, Marcus. Good to talk to you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you, fam.
Yes, sir. Ox, top 5 in the league when Rudy is on the floor. Bottom of the league when Rudy is off the floor. Sound real familiar to me.
Yeah,
sound real familiar to me.
Especially as bad as y'all saying that they've been, chill. I remember Whew, I remember one time taking out the trash and just my leg was wet. And I was like, what the hell is going on? You know, I looked down and it's just dripping out the bottom of the trash. Just the sick, just nasty.
That's what he telling us they are. They ain't even a trash bag. They what's left of the trash bag.
Yeah, you got man. Y'all gotta let Rudy play, man. I know. Yeah. Every time he gets in, they're like, "Oh, he has terrible hands. He can't catch the ball." I don't care.
He need to be on the floor. It's really that simple, Ox. He need to be on the floor. Yes, 100%. He need to be on the floor.
So I want to talk about somebody that had a great game last night.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook puts on a show last night for the Sacramento Kings against the Golden State Warriors, and he says, "I'm the best rebounding guard ever." Russell Westbrook has 8,732 career rebounds. He just passed Jason Kidd for the most by a guard in NBA history.
Yeah.
Is Russ telling the truth? Do you push back? Do you think Russ is the best rebounding guard in NBA history? Do the volume of rebounds, does that make him the best rebounder?
Well, see, that's where I was at, Ox, because I mean, if we're doing that, we got to do that across the board. If Russ passing Jason Kidd in terms of production, in terms of numbers, if that makes him the best rebounding guard, then that has to mean that Wilt Chamberlain is still the best rebounder in NBA history because nobody's ever going to catch him, ever, right? So not only is Chamberlain the best rebounder in NBA history, Olajuwon is still the best shot blocker in NBA history because I don't see anybody catching him. James is the best scorer because he just passed Jabbar, if we're doing that. But when I think about you being a rebounding guard, I think about when that I care about production, Ox. You know I'm a production guy. I care about what you produce. But with that being said, I care about when you do it, where you do it, how you do it, and who you do it against. And when I think about the better rebounding guards in the game, because I think Russ got 4 seasons of averaging double digit rebounds. That's a pretty big deal for a league guard. I'm not going to argue that at all. That's definitely a big deal for a league guard. However, I mean, Oscar Robertson, one of the best rebounding league guards in NBA history. Magic was a big-time rebounding guard, particularly in the playoffs. And I think that I would have gotten even more production out of him had he not been running with Jabbar, had he not been running with James Worthy, right? Guys who did board up, right? So with that being said, that doesn't mean that Russell Westbrook, in terms of production, isn't a great rebounding guard. But guys like Jason Kidd, Magic, Oscar Robertson, I think that they got something to say about that. No doubt about it. I do. Yeah. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to take away from how awesome Russ is as a rebounding guard, because what Russ did as a rebounding guard is he sped the game up. Right? He takes a lot of pressure. You and me actually had this conversation, Ox. You down there fighting with a bull. You need my help, right? Because you can't handle this dude by yourself. So I got to get in there and I got to help my big man because he's having a difficult time with this dude. So let me get my ass down here. Let me go stick my nose in here and take some pressure off of him because this guy he's having a real difficult time with him. Russ has done that. Russ has made it okay for guards to not just stick their nose in there, to stick their nose in there and push the pace. And I think that's what Russ did when he was in Oklahoma City. He did that when he was in Houston. I think he averaged almost 12 rebounds a game in Washington. I think that was I'm certain that was top 10 in the league. I'm sure that was top 10 in the league. So I think Russ is a fantastic rebounding guard. Fantastic. He was great.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, shout out to Jason Kidd, all those guys you named. Rajon Rondo. There's been a lot of really good rebounding guards, and I think Russell Westbrook has every right to believe that he is the best rebounding guard of all time.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't think of a logical reason to say that he's not. You know, so
well, he's definitely in the conversation. Ox, to your point, I mean, I'm not just going to scoff at when Russ says I'm the best rebounding guard. I'm the best rebounding guard ever. I can't just go, nah, Russ, no, you're not. Wait a minute. If you look at the other guards, Magic, Oscar Robertson, Jason Kidd, to your point, Rondo, like Russ stacks up against those dudes. 100% Russ does. He 100% stacks up against those dudes.
For sure. I got a super chat here from Cowboy Bob, and it actually pertains to our next segment. Cowboy Bob says, if Washington gets a guard like Ja, they nasty. They can defend well on closeout. They can shoot. Ja can draw the defense to create a lot of kickouts, Blazers stuck to the game plan with or without head coach. Hey, HC, that's head coach. That's yeah. Go New York, go! Shout out to Cowboy Bob. Heck of a super chat. Appreciate that. Chill. So, well, let's just answer this super chat. If Washington were to get a guard, let's say Ja Morant, do you think this changes things in Washington?
I think that he could help them, no doubt about that, because I mean they run in, especially in the fourth quarter. Washington has one of the worst fourth quarter offenses because they go to CJ McCollum in the meat and potatoes of games. Ja better than him in terms of being a bucket getter, a guy that I can go to for buckets in the meat and potatoes of games. And that offense is more suited for what Ja is, which is more of a one-on-one player, which is more of a wide open type of dude. Like they, if I'm not mistaken, they're one of the, they're at the, even though they're at the bottom of the league, they shoot a lot of threes. And they play a lot of wide open basketball. And I think that's conducive to Ja Morant's game. So with that being conducive to Ja Morant's game, I think that he would thrive there. Now, as far as him going to the Washington Wizards, I mean, we'll see about that. But I do think that he's a viable option for the Washington Wizards. Yes, 100%. I do think that.
And what do you think about the Blazers just sticking to their game plan and kind of targeting Shea down the end of that game?
Well, actually,
actually, I'll bring the super chat back up.
Yeah,
I'll bring the super chat back up.
Sure.
I want to kind of stick to Ja, because like I said earlier, we're going to get back to the Blazers game. Let's stick to Ja, and there's a report that the Grizzlies are not looking to move Ja Morant. Although we've heard plenty of rumors over this week, and we've also, we've seen the post-game interview where Ja seems a little disgruntled, and his only answer is ask the coaching staff, ask the coaching staff, ask the coaching staff, ask the coaching staff. Sure. He repeated that multiple times, and a lot of us just took that and assumed, hey, there's got to be trouble in paradise. There was also reports that the Orlando Magic could have had Ja Morant and decided instead that they wanted Desmond Bane. So with that being said, now the Memphis Grizzlies are saying they don't want to move off of Ja Morant. Chill, are you buying this, or do you think maybe they're just trying to get the price up a little bit?
Ox, it's not that they don't want to move off of him. They can't if they want to get something back for him. Ox, you want to move out. Like, what's going on between you and whoever? Like, whenever, if I want to move out, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. But I can't leave right now because my money ain't right. Right? I can't leave right now because I'm changing jobs. So I can't leave right now. But I can promise you, Ox, the minute I get some bread, or the minute I get this job situation figured out, I'm out of here. Well, I can promise you, Memphis wants out.
I get this transmission fixed, I'm gone.
I am out of here, Ox. Wait till I get my car fixed. I'm so out of here. It can't be fast enough. Memphis wants out of the Ja Morant business. But here's the problem. The problem is that they see, other teams see what they got going on, and you're not dumping your problem on us. No, that's a you problem that I don't want right now. No. And plus, to your point, we just got started. So because we just got started, you're just seeing teams trying to figure out who they are, trying to get their offenses figured out. You already got trouble in paradise with your crew. So I don't want that headache when I'm still trying to figure out what I got going on here. Let Ja marinate for there for a little while longer, very much like what's going on when I told you with the 76ers. I'm going to prop Joel Embiid up, and I'm going to have him ramped up like around maybe December, January, where now he's starting to look a lot better. Then I'm putting a for sale sign on the car. 100% I'm putting a for sale sign on the car. And I'm asking whoever want it. I know that I'm not going to get, if I bought it for 10, I'm probably not going to get 6 or 7. If I could get 4 for it, maybe 5, if I could get 4, maybe 5 for it, I'll take it.
That's pennies on the dollar.
Here's the problem. It costs more for me to maintenance it, Ox, than it does for me to keep it. And I think with this Ja Morant situation, I feel like it's costing them more. Ox, they 13th in the Western Conference. This is a team that just 2 short years ago, we were talking about them being one of the contenders in the Western Conference. We go from being a contender in the Western Conference to the offense changing. Ja is now disgruntled. Zach Edey is out of the lineup. Triple J, doesn't rebound. G.G. Jackson hasn't actually panned out to be what I thought he was going to pan out to be. This team, I mean, this kid, Jalen Wells, actually has been really good for them. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been out of the lineup. So this crew, it's been this way instead of this way. It's been more this way. You've already lost your coach, Taylor Jenkins. You've already lost Desmond Bane. You've already lost Dylan Brooks. So half that core is gone. Meanwhile, I got a guy in Ja who isn't playing up to what he used to play up to, still doesn't play above the rim like he used to. His jump shot looks like it's abandoning him, and that's probably because of how inconsistent he is in the offense. So, and on top of that, to your point, he's in post-game press conferences telling everybody, yo, why are you talking to me about this? Talk to the coaching staff, which is very immature on his part, if I'm being honest with you. It's very immature on his part. I think that there's some I definitely think that there's some culpability on his end that he doesn't want to take account for. And I think that's very immature on his part. And I think that this is a situation with Ja Morant in Memphis that I don't think that they want anything to do with anymore. But we can't move off him yet, off the strength that the value isn't there. So to your point, Ox, as soon as I get this transmission fixed, I'm so out of here. Right. I'm gone.
Well, Chill, Ja's never been the poster boy for accountability. You know what I mean? As far as we've seen, I mean, I can only speak on what I've seen from the young fella. I obviously don't know him, what he does, but from what I've seen, he's never really been the poster boy for maturity and accountability. So we shouldn't expect him at 26 to all of a sudden just be a completely different person. So I think Memphis knows what they have, and we'll see what happens, y'all. We'll see what happens. Back to this super chat that Cowboy Bob sent through. He said the Blazers stuck to the game plan with or without HC. I believe that's head coach. Chill. It seemed like SGA got in some foul trouble down there in the fourth quarter, and they picked on him. You could see whoever he was guarding was pretty much, they were getting the ball, dragging him out high, setting that pick for Deni Avdija, and Deni Avdija was getting him right there at the top of the key and just going at him. It paid off. So how do you feel about them sticking to plans and executing in the games and Tiago Splinter's job so far? I think, what is he, 4-2 so far as the head coach? Or 4-1? I'm sorry, I think 4-1. How do you feel about what you're seeing from Portland? Mostly speaking about just executing.
And 3 of their 5 wins, they've held teams under league average. So I mean, I think that that's also a plus. But you stick with what works. And what works is, which I don't understand why teams don't do this more, is when a guy is limping, you go after him. He's wounded. You go, don't let him off the hook. SGA, who is, and I think that this affected his game offensively, SGA, who's their best scorer, was in foul trouble. Well, with him being in foul trouble, Portland made a conscious effort to get him in any and every action that they were in, particularly in the meat and potatoes of the game, especially when Portland ended up cutting that lead down to single digits. They did everything that they could. When SGA was on the floor, they went after him, and they went after him early and often. And I love that about them. I didn't give, and I think I've said this to you in the past, Ox, I didn't give Deni Avdija enough credit for how big he is. I thought that he was like a 6'5", 6'6" dude. I think this dude is like 6'8", 6'9". I didn't know he was that big. And if I got a guy in Deni Avdija that's consistently going after me, especially when I'm in foul trouble and I can't play defense as well as I would like, I mean, that hampers our offense. That 100% hampers our offense, because what you're not going to do is you're not just going to let me just go by you in Olay. Nah, you're not going to do that. But what you're also not going to do is you're not going to be able to play defense like you really want neither. So I feel like with Deni Avdija, and I feel like with this Portland offense last night, I thought that they stuck to the big lineup that they had, which I think is interesting with Coach Splitter, because he kind of went small ball, but he took advantage of the Portland Trailblazers small ball lineup when they went Wiggins, SGA, Joe, Cason Wallace, Hartenstein. He stuck with his big guys. He stuck with his big lineup with Klingon, with JG, with Kamara, and with Deni Avdija and Drew Holiday. He stuck with that big lineup and went after those guys, which I appreciate that from a coach who knows that I can take advantage, especially of a guy who's in foul trouble, which is your best scorer, and on top of that, on the glass, because you only got one rebounder. And I got guys on the wing like Tamani Kamara. I got guys like that on the wing who's super comfortable in cracking the long ball and stretching the defense, which expands your defense. And Oklahoma City's got one of the most connected defenses in the league. Yes, they were down a couple of guys last night, but I thought the Portland Trailblazers did a great job in overcoming that and winning that game.
Absolutely. That was, like I said, Chill, I left practice at about 9:05 and rushed to the nearest TV I could because I wanted to see that game. And I was pleasantly surprised that it was still pretty close, and they pulled it out. It was a great one. Before we get back to the lobby, I want to just speak on something. Chill. Let's list. Can you list all the players in NBA history that have averaged 30-plus points per game on at least 60% shooting?
30 on 60% shooting. I think Chamberlain did it. Let's see. I think Chamberlain did it once. Shaq did. I think Shaq did it once too. Those are the only guys that I can remember, Ox.
Okay. Well, the NBA posted that the only player to do it is Giannis.
Are you serious?
They said it's only been Giannis, and it's been Giannis in 23-24 and 24-25.
Only Giannis is the only guy to do that. Wow, that's incredible.
Now, I don't know if they got it wrong. I could see Shaq. I could see maybe Shaq doing that and Chamberlain doing that, but this is just what I'm getting from the NBA's page. I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't know. Maybe you can't see that. But that's just what the NBA's Twitter page is posting, that Giannis is the only player to do that, and he's done it twice. Right now, he's averaging 32.3 on 67.7% shooting.
Chamberlain never did that. Nope. And now that I'm looking at it, Ox, Chamberlain never did that. And Shaq never averaged 30 a game. Shaq averaged 20. He averaged 29.7, but he never shot 60% while averaging that many points. I mean, his second year in the league, he averaged 29, shooting 59.9 from the floor, which is basically 60.
Pretty
but
close.
Giannis is shooting something ridiculous, like close to 70% from the floor.
Yeah, he's at 60. He's at 60, basically 68 right now. He's averaging 32. But the past two seasons here, he's already done it 2 times.
So these how many guys have done that?
This many times, Giannis is the only person in NBA history has done this, and looks like he's going to do it again, Chill.
Wow, that's incredible. This guy, this is why, Ox, you were talking to me about Giannis being the best player in the world. It's not that I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening enough. And now that I go back and I look at the numbers and I start to study Giannis's game, this is how guys get forgotten. And I ain't trying to hear it, Ox. Nope, right. I'm not trying to hear it. No, right. Absolutely. Every opportunity I get, I will be talking about Giannis doing amazing things. 100% I will.
No doubt. Let's get back to the lobby. We got Don in the back. Let's see what Don got going on. What's up, Don?
What up, dog? It's been a minute.
Yep.
Hey, Don, I ain't heard from you ever since you tapped out on day 99.
Man, you know something went wrong with YouTube. They ain't let my comment go. You know what? I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have your first win ever in your life, man. I'm gonna let you have that.
Appreciate that, bro. What's going on with you? How you doing?
Need some help. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
But obviously, I want to talk about my team. You know, the Pistons. Mm-hmm. It got to be 1994. Bulls #1 seed, Detroit #2 seed. It looked good so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing, especially when we have to experiment with the double big lineup of Duran and Stewart since Toby is out. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far.
Okay, what are your expectations this year for the Pistons? You think y'all get into the second round of the playoffs, maybe further than that?
I'll say at max second round, and then
so
we probably get.
We working, okay?
Yeah, we'll probably get 4-1 by. We'll probably get 4-1 by Cleveland. Cleveland always got our number. Like that's the one team I don't want to see, because every time Donovan Mitchell see us, it's like it's personal.
Is it belt
It's
to ass
personal.
whenever he see y'all? Is it belt to ass when he see y'all?
Chill. I'm biased. I tell you the truth. It's belt to ass.
As soon as he see us, boy, he just taking that belt off like I was late coming home from school, and yes, I'm getting ass whooping. Damn. I will say this though. So in 1994,
go ahead.
In 93, 94, the Pistons was whack. But I know what you're talking about. You're talking about in the early 90s, like 90, 91, when the Bulls in the top of the East, when the bad boys. That's what it looks like right now. But I think that we're not talking nearly as much as we should about one beef stew, because that 3-ball is a real thing. Let's be clear about that right now. I said this to the fellas earlier today, and I think that I think that they starting to come around. That 3-ball from beef stew is a real thing, and Jalen Duren around the basket, that's definitely a real thing. I'm not surprised about the 22 rebounds. He one of the best rebounders in the game. That doesn't surprise me at all when he pulls down 13, 14 rebounds. That doesn't surprise me at all from him. It's the finishing around the rim that I felt like needed to get better, and the defense I thought needed to get better from him. But other than that, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And one more thing for Chill, and then I'm going to head out. It was a report on Monday from Mark Spears. I wonder if because you always brought up Victor having some type of way with Chet. Did you see the post from Mark Spears talking about Victor is motivated seeing Chet win a ring? Now, why would he be motivated about Chet and not OKC? What is it about Chet winning the championship?
Because the reason why is because it's him. Like, first and foremost, y'all think he nice like me. That's what y'all think. And the fact that he won one, when this is all said and done, if I don't get there, y'all gonna talk about that dude like he better than me. Y'all gonna talk about that dude like he's above me, and he not. He ain't better than me. And whenever he sees him, please believe that, and I've said this to Ox before, it's personal with him. Whenever he see Chet, he look at Chet like, why is this dude on the floor with me? He shouldn't even be out here with me. Him? No. He shouldn't be out here with me. I'm clearly better than him.
He always feels some type of way.
I for one feel like Chet. I for one feel like Chet's on that level as Wemby. I honestly do, and so I understand why Wemby takes it personal.
Because they always go at it since what was it, USA 17 league or something like that.
Yep. And they ended up beating France, and he won and Chet won the MVP of the tournament. And he looking at Chet like, man, this dude ain't nice like me, yo. Y'all got this wrong. Y'all do. Y'all got this wrong, and I'm gonna show y'all.
So, right.
All right, brother.
All right, I appreciate y'all. Oh
yes, sir.
No doubt. I'll be on playback.
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right, Don.
All right.
Yep. Chill. I mean, I've said that before. I've been vocal about it. I don't see why people don't look at Chet to be on Wemby's level. So, I understand why Wemby takes it personally. Also, what Chet came in the year before him, but was injured that year. So basically, they were rookies together. I think that's a rivalry that the NBA needs to invest in. I do. But yeah, guys, we are it's 2 p.m. over here, 5 p.m. over there. That is going to wrap up the show. I apologize for the tardiness. My Wi-Fi was tripping, y'all. But we will be back day after tomorrow. That is Saturday. We'll be here at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Y'all do not be late. Make sure to show up. We'll be back on the panel tomorrow. And do not miss the press box on Sunday. Chill.
We will see you guys soon. Y'all know where to find us at right here. We'll see you soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? And if you ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, call my big fella. He'll make sure that you get home, yo. He got you covered. So we'll see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. This was dope.
Well, like I said, we'll see y'all tomorrow on the panel. I believe we are rocking playback tomorrow as well. Just come in tomorrow, tap in, and figure out what time to be there. We'll catch y'all. And never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive. We'll see y'all soon.
No, don't do that, yo. Don't do that.